from Luton, who is a victim of abuse, has been nominated for a community award. Debra Knight now helps other victims through her work with abuse victim support. She joins me in the studio now. Good morning, Debra.
Good morning.
This is really early for you. I appreciate you coming in. I believe you're looking after a 2-year-old as well at the moment. So
I'm going to be babysitting my nephew.
There's going to be no catching up on the sleep. Congratulations on being nominated. How do you find out that you're nominated for something like this? Did you get a phone call one day and say, hey, guess what?
I got an email basically saying that I've been nominated for an award and please can I come and pick up my ticket? And really, that's all the information that I know.
Right.
I don't really know who nominates me, although the person who nominated me has made themselves known to me now.
Okay.
But, no information, really.
So that's how it works. Someone thinks that you have done something a little bit special, and they get in touch with the awards and say, listen, we think Debra's a little bit special. She's going above and beyond. Look at you being all humble. This is what someone's obviously thought about you, and then they kind of write a bit about you, and it gets assessed, and you go up for the nominations. And the do's tonight, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
What kind of work have you been doing? What have you done that's got you nominated, do you think?
Well, I own a community interest company called 9 Red, which does a number of different community projects, one of which is the AVS project, which is Abuse Victim Support. And it's basically a for us, by us type project where it's all run and implemented by victims of abuse. And so what we do is help other people through that to build to a brighter, safer future. So that has a number of different tiers within it. So there's one-on-one counselling, and then there's group and family therapy. But I believe what I've been nominated for is the arts part of that, where what we do is we use arts as therapy. So we do various number of different things. Like we have a community festival annually where we use it sort of like a networking event, raise the profile of the AVS project, kind of bring in different people who would support our clients to work together in that kind of way. And it's kind of a fun day, you know, there's it's live stage performances and those kinds of things. So we do that.
Who comes to you? Is it kids? Is it adults? Is it everybody?
It's anyone over the age of 13 that we work with. Generally tends to be people who've suffered from sexual violence or rape, although domestic violence we deal with as well. It generally as well tends to be adults who were abused as children who never got the kind of like services that they needed when they were a child, and so have now come forward as an adult as they're having difficulty in their later years. And so we kind of work with them through that process to help them understand and appreciate what they've been through, and obviously as it's run by victims, we'll have an understanding and appreciation of how it's going to affect them in their lives and things.
How did you get involved with all this? Why did you start all this up?
It just kind of happened for me, really. I personally was a victim of domestic violence and rape, and I had severe social phobia, and I couldn't work outside of the home. And basically what I could do was arts. I was a performer, I was a writer. I was actually at law school at the time. Right. And basically I started doing performances and different things along those lines, different artwork, like visual artists, working with photo mosaics, those kind of things. And people just genuinely kept coming to me like to support them and help them, and how am I getting through. And so we formalised the AVS project out of that, those kinds of experiences from those people coming together, wanting to offer a similar service to other people because it helped them so much. So it just kind of evolved naturally rather than actually being a planned process that we actually sat down and thought, oh, this is what we're going to do.
Now, abuse, of course, is in the headlines at the moment with this whole Jimmy Savile thing, and I've desperately been trying to find something positive out of this, and I guess the only positive thing I've been able to find out of this whole horrible mess that we've been reading about is that it seems that it's encouraged more victims of abuse, not necessarily through Savile, but from any, to come out and kind of, it's brought it to the forefront. I've heard lots of phone-in shows on this station, other stations, where people have phoned up and said, I was abused 10, 20, 30 years ago, and I've never told anyone about it. So I guess positive as far as you can go, that's something, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, that's kind of like the work that we do, if you see what I mean. I'm vocal, I'm spoken out about my experiences and that I've picked myself up and that I can carry on. And because I think some people get the image and the view that their life is over, they're not going to do anything, and, they're going to turn to drugs or suicide or self-harm or something along those lines. And what I try to show them is, this is a positive thing that you can do. And I think anything that highlights the kind of profile of abuse and the effects of abuse encourages people to come forward and to be able to speak up and not be judged, and know they're not going to be judged, and that people are not necessarily going to dismiss them or they're going to be disbelieved. It's created an atmosphere where people can come forward and can open up in a more supportive way than necessarily 10, 15 years ago.
One of the things that struck me, I'm surprised by the controversy around, is that there is talk possibly of Savills victims claiming, getting compensation. That's the word. Does compensation, the financial compensation, would that have a positive impact? Can you see?
I can only speak personally for how I feel. I can't speak for anybody else who's had any experiences, but I know for myself that I want a new, fresh, clean, bright, safer future. Someone could compensate me and give me £100,000. If I could then go and buy a house with that £100,000, every time I open my door, I know where the money comes from.
Really?
That's my personal...
That's interesting.
That's how I feel. However, I am aware that other people feel like, well, you have things taken away from me. Like, for example, I was at law school. I was very disillusioned. I didn't go down that career. Having money might enable me to do more things with my life. And, you know, there's a two-way street. The things that are taken away from you can be given back. But for me, I personally... want everything in my life to be clean and free of that memory.
The awards are tonight. You got a fancy frock for it? You gonna dress up?
Yeah, I'm going to dress up.
Very best of luck. Listen, if people want to find out about your centre and stuff, have you got a website that they can
I have a website, yes. It's www.artundefined.com.
Fantastic. Well, listen, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Have a cracking night tonight. And maybe we'll speak to you next week and find out what happened.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Fantastic. That's Debra Knight, who helps victims of abuse. 08459 455 555. Let's get the travel news now. Here's Sophie Tyler.
And Bucks Travel. BBC Three Counties Radio.
Heading through Welling on the Green